Welcome to another episode of Building a Leader Mindset podcast. I'm your host, Nikki C, and I have a very special guest for you today. I am super excited, and this is brought to you by BALM Global and the Connected Leaders Academy. And we have Jennifer Tamborski is a funnel and paid ads expert and CEO of Marketing Experts. Jennifer has created a team of experts that work with 6- and 7-figure coaches, consultants, and online course creators to generate consistent leads and sales for their clients using innovative and cutting-edge marketing strategies. She and her team work behind the scenes in their clients' businesses, creating, managing, and optimizing profitable digital marketing strategies and campaigns that produce unprecedented levels of growth for their businesses. She and her team are passionate about helping their clients grow their business, increase their revenue, and scale their impact. We love that. Going to get her on here. Welcome, Jennifer. How are you?
Thanks, Nikki. I'm doing very well. It's been a busy day and I'm loving it. How about you?
Yes, I know. Before we got started, I told you by the end of the night, I'm going to be zoomed out, but love everything that through the communities I'm connected, people I get to know, just like, and so we connected through the Business Leaders Network with J.R. Spears, and you had a virtual coffee, and you were telling me how you help these people just get their stuff together and make sure that they're actually working. Before we get into that, tell us a little bit about what you did previously. Who is Jennifer? Where did you come from? And where did you find this passion?
So, a long story short, I actually created my first business almost 18 years ago, I guess. My middle child is just turned 18, and I did it right after he was born. So, I actually started out in the online space kind of as a virtual assistant before virtual assistants were kind of a thing. I had, I wanted to be able to stay home with my kids. I wanted to be able to, still bring money into the house and still use my brain because it's always active. So I started working with real estate agents, and this was a long time ago. But what they really needed was a lot of their marketing stuff done, right? Their Facebook was really, really young then. So none of them knew how to use it. So using things like that, also flyers and, all of those kind of things that go along with it. In 2008, the market crashed. And so all of the real estate agents could no longer afford to use me. So I pivoted my business at that point and actually started working with marketers, people who were in the website building space and the Facebook ads space and just in that general area of digital marketing, and learned a lot over the time I worked with them. And at one point I just decided, you know what, I know enough to help people and really help them to grow and scale their businesses so I can take this out on my own. And that's what I did. So I've been for the past 6-7 years, I guess, focused solely on digital marketing for that online space of service provider who's really looking to make a difference and an impact in other people's worlds.
Awesome. And what are the common challenges that marketers have right now that it's a constant repetition of each client that you speak to? Like, what's the most common thing that goes on, and what is the best way to fix it, and how do you also coach them as you're working with them?
Yeah. So funny enough, I'm actually a NLP trained master coach and trainer. So I do have a lot of coaching in my background that I use in my business. I actually had a call earlier today with a client doing just that, coaching them through their fear of like getting out there. Is this going to work? All of that kind of stuff. So there is some of that in the business because we always want to make sure that our clients are well supported and they're, really positive and upfront about what they're wanting to accomplish. Some of the biggest problems that people have are lead generation. Like that's the biggest, this is a big secret that's not so secret. Without leads, you don't really have sales. So the trying to be everywhere to try and create organic leads can be exhausting. Just like we were discussing earlier about being on Zoom calls because we're networking and, you know, you're on Zoom calls all day long. And then imagine going to create additional content for your Instagram account or your, you know, YouTube account, whatever that might be. It gets exhausting for people because social media is a never-ending beast of consuming your content, right? So the best way to go about doing that are two things. One, batch your content. Spend a day, make a month's worth of content. 90% of your content should be short form content anyway, which are reels or shorts on YouTube or, you know, TikTok or whatever. Batch out a bunch of them so you can just put them out there. The second thing, using ads to support that content, because you're getting to reach a larger network of people. So you're not having to produce new content constantly because new people are constantly seeing your content, as opposed to trying to draw people in organically. That can be 10 years ago, 15 years ago, when Facebook was young, organic reach was amazing. And you could post something and just make $1 billion. In this day and age, that's just not the way things work anymore.
Right. So the algorithms are not reaching your potential clients, right? Your clients, your ideal clients that can possibly, that are looking for your service, but they don't know where to find you, basically.
Exactly.
So lead generation is huge. And just going back, you know, when I first started, knowing what lead generation was, or, you know, how to really seek, you know, all I had was my, what's that called? Our warm mark, like you, trust you, but maybe don't need your services. So you start there first. And then you're like emailing one person at a time. You're telling one person at a time because you don't want to share their information. So what type of systems do you use in place for lead generation?
So that's really where funnels come in, and funnels are a lot of fun because there's so many variations. Every business owner is going to have something that they gravitate towards more, or that maybe work better in their industry than another. But that's really a method of getting someone into your sphere, and then automating your building know, like, and trust with them, right? Creating email automations that connect with them and help them get to know who you are, what you do, who you serve, and most importantly, how you can help them. That's the key when it comes to your business and growing your business and marketing. It's all about what you can do for them. And I think that's oftentimes what business owners, especially when they're in that younger state of business, forget, because they're all about, you know, what they do and the knowledge they have, which is awesome, but that's not what your clients want to, or your potential clients want to hear. They want to hear you understand their problem and you can fix it. That's all they want.
Wow, straight into the point. Thank you so much for that. That is so true. They definitely want to make sure that they are paying for something of value and they're going to get the results that they desire. So that's important. So how does someone really understand funnels and how they work? And do you need more than one funnel? Who really goes in a funnel? Just kind of give us just a few things on that.
So I think people get confused about funnels often because when they hear the word funnel, they think of ClickFunnels, which is a platform, not necessarily a process, right? A funnel is simply a customer journey. I like to correlate it to dating. I have this whole line of podcast episodes and emails and content about dating your ideal client. taking them through a process where they get to know who you are, get to know what you do, and building a relationship with them so that they're ready to buy from you. So there's millions of different types of funnels. There's, webinars, and there's 5-day challenges, and there's quizzes, and there's downloads, and, you name it, you can probably turn it into a funnel. The question becomes, what is it that your ideal client needs to learn, do, see, or hear in order to be ready to take that next step with you? So if you look at it from the dating perspective, we go through what we call the introduction phase, which is really for us, or I would think when I was dating, and the way that oftentimes I think you should do this, especially in marketing, is really, who is it that you want to meet? Like, who is that person? Who's that ideal client that you know, so you know all that you can know about them. Build that out in the introduction phase so that you are super clear about who it is you're connecting with. And then I lead it into what I like to call the flirting phase, which is all about that content that you're creating value, starting to get them, building your audience, really talking to them. If we think about it from the dating world, it's that texting you're doing before you meet them for coffee, right? If you're doing online dating, you're communicating with them there first. That's what that flirting stage is in digital marketing. It's just getting them to notice who you are and giving them enough value to make them want to take the next step, which I call it the dating phase, which is where people join your email list. It's where that free offer is going to be, or low cost offer, depending on your business. But it's where that, webinar or that download or that quiz is going to be. They step into that, and then you have an email sequence that follows it, that warms them up, that nurtures them, that gets them ready to buy, which is where the commitment phase comes in, right? Where they buy. That's where most people want to start, and they forget to do the work beforehand, right? It takes, just like in a relationship, it takes work beforehand. You don't generally go up to somebody in the bar and go, hey, let's get married, right? Like that's not the way the real world works. But that's the way a lot of business owners look at business. Like, they approach someone and just immediately want them to buy from them. It doesn't always work that way. And then the last phase I always coach my clients on is keeping the romance alive, because we don't stop marketing to our clients just because they become our clients. We still want to keep a relationship with them. We still want to market to them so that when we have our next big offer, whether it's something they could buy or whether they know somebody else who would buy it, they're still within our sphere, and we're able to continue to grow that relationship long term.
That is an awesome analogy, layout of what you've actually built for your system. I think that's genius. I never looked at it that way, but it's so true. It's a relationship, and you have to go to first base, second base, third, like just like that.
Exactly.
So thank you so much for sharing that. That's awesome. So we are just going to take a quick break and listen to our sponsor real quick. We're going to come right back with Jennifer here, and we are going to chat some more about what she has going on and how you can connect with her. Give us 1 second. We'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Jose Escobar, and I'm the founder and CEO of the Connected Leaders Academy. We're a growing tribe, a community of entrepreneurs all over the world, globally, all across the country, high performers, titans of industry. If you're an entrepreneur and you're looking to grow personally and professionally, scale your influence, develop your skill sets, move the needle in your business, more clients, more money, more profit, the bottom line, and of course, grow your circle and your network like never before, this is where you want to be. Join the Connected Leaders Academy today. We are scaling massively. We want to welcome you in. Check me out on Instagram and on Facebook, the @ JAESCO25. We look forward to having you join us. Take care.
Thank you so much for joining us again on this BALM podcast. We have Jennifer with us from virtualmarketingexpert.com, and she has been sharing with us how funnels are so important, how marketing your business. And I hope you have pen and paper and you have been writing it down. If not, you have to go back, rehear this, and take notes and connect with her. So tell me what are the challenges that you within, your day to day, and really being on your game at all times. And is there, any times where you struggle with certain things, and how do you kind of get yourself out of those type of, mindset funks and really just be at your best at all times?
Yeah, I think all of us, we're human beings, right? We have emotional highs and lows. It's just life in general of, that there's always that little voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough, or you're not smart enough, or whatever the BS it is that it's feeding you. I think that's pretty standard in life in general. And I'm definitely not immune to that. Usually when I get into some kind of funk, I get up and I move. Like that's the way I break my state of being in like this, I don't know, whatever it is that I'm struggling with. If I'm struggling to just concentrate or think about something, getting up off my butt and going for a walk, or going to stretch, or just getting away from this in general will help me to kind of refocus and allow my brain to start thinking about the right way to do something. Because usually if I'm stuck, it's because I haven't given my brain enough time to process. And so if I step away and allow it to process, it'll help me through the problem itself.
That's it's funny because it's so true. It's just as simple as that. And some of us try to make it harder than what it is. And it's really crazy that, we go through these things. We really kind of, we're working that power. Actually have a thing that I do where every hour an affirmation of off, and it resets me. Where are we right now? But we're still here, and just walking away and then coming back to it, and being able to have that time to clear your mind. So thank you. That's a great tip. It's a simple tip. Sometimes we kind of fight ourselves with because we're like on deadlines and, we have to get it done. And sometimes it can wait. We have to really understand that.
Yep. And generally, the more we push, in life, the more we push, the less we're going to get done, right? If all we're doing is pushing and pushing and pushing, we're just exhausting ourselves. And so, yeah, just give yourself a minute to breathe and let your brain do the work.
Yeah. So can you share with us a favorite quote or something that you go by in your business, for you, your team, just anything?
Yeah. So I have a couple of favorite quotes that I repeat. I actually have one that's tattooed on my wrist. So we'll start with there. There's this poem that says, "Go not where the path may lead. Instead, go where there is no path and leave a trail." I edited it a little bit to say blaze a trail, because I really think that for me, that's what I want to do, right? I want to create a new way of thinking and doing and being when it comes to my business. And so I do focus on that a lot when it comes to my business, because there's a lot of people, there's tons of gurus out there. I know everybody's seen them in their feed that have said, you have to do it this way. Like, this is the only way. And you could do it that way, and it may or may not work for you. From my perspective, it's always best to lay your own trail, right? Let's make a way that works for you, rather than trying to follow somebody else. And so as much as I do look towards people in my industry that have done bigger and better than I have to see how they've done it. And I also want to leave my own trail. I want people to know who I am and that, I made a difference in their world and in their business.
Right. Okay. So we are own trail. That's beautiful. It gave me chill. Had a quote on because I didn't know that. And things happen so organically on here that it doesn't happen by accident. So I'm glad I was able to share that because you truly want to do. So I love that. Thank you so much for that. How can people get our...
So the easiest way to get a hold of me, I have a couple things. I have a podcast called Marketing Matchmaker where I get to share all of my knowledge with my audience, as well as interviewing some amazing people in the marketing world. And you can also reach out to me on virtualmarketingexpert.com. I'm always available for a free consultation to see where you're at with your marketing and how we might be able to make some small changes or big changes in order to make, your goals happen.
Awesome. I love that. Thank you so much for joining the BALM family and sharing your knowledge on, these ads, these Facebooks, your presence, your funnels, and everything that you need to run a very successful business so that you can do what you set out to do and really is coach and, run that business, effectively. And Jennifer is the person to call. I have, heard her on a lot of our masterminds, and she's just doing amazing things. And I definitely wanted to make sure that, she's here on BALM and she's now part of the BALM family. So we'll definitely connect you with those that are in need of this help because Lord knows I need it. So thank you so much, Jennifer. And do you have any final words you want to leave with our audience?
Thank you. Actually, my final word is marketing is essential to your business. Don't wait until you have your client or you've made X in revenue to think that you should market then. Start marketing as soon as you can because that's how your business is going to grow and scale.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. There you have it. Jennifer Tamborski, virtualmarketingexpert.com. Definitely connect with her. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Building a Leadership Mindset podcast. You have a great day. And as I always say, make it count.